Hi guys, we are back for another yoga flow, this time working on the hips. So we're going to start down on our mat. So bring yourself all the way down to a kneeling position. And then we're going to place the right hand behind us, fingertips facing away, reaching the left arm up, and then push the knees into the floor and lift the hips up. Looking towards that top hand, squeezing the glutes gently, and then exhale, bring yourself back down, sweeping that hand down and coming onto the other side. Left hand places down, right arm up, and then lift the hips up, stretching it out. Exhale, bring it back. We're going back to the left hand, sorry, the right hand. Place the right hand back, left arm goes up. Lift those hips, stretch out. Take a nice deep breath here. And then exhale, bring it back down. Sweep it over towards the left hand. Right arm up. Lift those hips up. Take a breath here. We're going to use that breath to stretch us even more. And then exhale, bring the hands back down. We're going to place both hands if you can, or if you can't, just go onto one side again. Pushing the palms into the floor, open up the chest, and then lift those hips up. Walking the hands a little bit closer towards you if you can. Lifting those hips up a little bit higher. Take the head back. Squeezing the glutes. Lift those hips up. Stretch it out. Take a breath in. And then exhale, slowly lower the bum down. Bring your hands forward, coming into a wide knee child's pose this time. So take the knees nice and wide, keeping the big toes together. And then walking the hands back. Sorry, not back, forward. Walking the hands forward. The bum goes back to the heels and let the head come down, either on the chin or place the forehead down. And use the hands here, keep it a little bit active. Push the hands into the floor to push the bum back to the heels. Take a nice deep breath in, and then exhale, relax. Make the pose a little bit more passive. Let those hips open out. Relax the legs. And use the space there in between the legs to use the belly, allow the belly to expand. And then exhale, soften into the stretch. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. So if you want to use the count, we need to try and inhale for a count of 4. And then exhale for a count of 5 or 6. Control the air coming out. Relax the legs a little bit more. One more deep breath in and out. And then start to walk the hands back towards the body. We're going to tuck the feet under and come into a squat position. So tuck the toes, push the body up and come into a low squat. So feet just off of the mat, heels are in, sink that bum nice and low. Elbows towards the knees, thumbs in towards the chest. Now just wiggle side to side to open up those hips and shift the weight over towards the right, coming up into that heel, pushing the knees out with the elbows. And then shift it back to the center, coming onto the left leg, pushing that knee out with the elbows. And just gently shift it side to side, open up those hips. Notice which muscles you're tensing and then relaxing. You shift it side to side. And then find your center. So let that bum drop down low, pushing the knees out, pushing into the outside edge of the feet and lifting that chest up. Now if you need a bit more support here, if you feel like you're maybe up a bit high on the heels, grab some weight in the front, maybe a kettlebell or a big bottle of water to help support you and find the center so you can let the hips open and the bum sink down. Or equally, you can place something underneath the sit bones, a block or a cushion, to allow the knees to go out. Keep length through the chest. We'll take 3 deep breaths here. Just close down the eyes. So we're closing down the eyes so we take off that sense. So we can allow ourselves to become more internal and feel what's happening inside the body, rather than looking around and seeing what's happening outside. Relax the hips. Relax the thighs. Just make sure you're pushing into the outside edge of the feet and the balls of the feet. One more breath. And then we're going to slowly lower back onto our bum. So use your hands for support if you need to. Otherwise, sitting back, bring the feet in front. Hands behind you to support. And then we're going to windscreen wipers the legs side to side. So pushing the knees down, bring them back up, keeping the feet in one place, just rolling over the feet. Push those knees down. And again, shift over towards one side, then the other. One more time over to the right. Push those knees down. And then back to the center, over to the left. And then bring yourself back up. Then we're going to come into a 90-90 position, so with the legs. So let's come onto the right side to start with. You're aiming to get your right thigh out in front and then the calf out at a 90-degree angle. And then you can add your foot in as well if you want to. Same with the left leg, but use your hand for support if you need to lengthen up through the spine. Try and get your pelvis a bit more neutral. If this is really tricky for you, you can always get something underneath the right sit bone, like a towel or a blanket, to tilt the pelvis up a bit more upright. Use your fingertips to push yourself and lengthen up through the spine. Hold it here. If it's not accessible, you can always bring your feet and knees a bit closer. So we've got that internal rotation on the left leg and the external on the right. And just try to relax the legs here for a moment. Taking a nice deep breath in and soften the legs on the way out. Bringing both hands now over towards the right thigh. See if you can place the palms down, but if not, onto the fingertips. And then lengthening through the spine and then looking away from your body. Coming down into the palms if you can. And start to look with the head towards the back foot. Coming into a twist. Keep length through the spine and the neck. Relax that left leg. Breathe and feel the twist and the openness in the front of the left leg and hip. And then slowly bring your head back and walk the hands in front of that left, so your right shin. Bringing yourself down to the elbows if you can, or if not, just up on your hands. And again, you can use some kind of blanket or support to lift you up if you need it. Keep length through the spine. Turn the palms to be facing up, so you're relaxing the arms. And see if you can drop the head down, bringing the body closer towards the thigh. And just hold it here for 3 deep breaths. Let the forehead feel heavy. Making sure you're relaxing those legs. And then from here, we're going to come into our pigeon stretch. So bring yourself back onto the palms. And then you're going to lift up onto this right knee and send that left leg to the back. So you're straighten the left leg, the foot's facing down to the floor. Bring your hands in front of the leg and start to walk forward. Bring yourself down into the elbows. And then again, relax the head down. Adjust your foot so you feel comfortable. And then keeping the left hip facing down to the floor as much as you can. You might want to wiggle side to side gently to find your position. And this might look different for everyone. And then once you've found your center, maybe you want to take your elbows out to the side and bring your head all the way down. Or just staying on the elbows and relax the head. Come back to your breath. Trying to relax into that right leg a bit more. Notice where you're feeling that restriction, the tightness. Send the breath there. Using the exhale to soften down into the floor. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. And if you want to, you can count the breaths. And then slowly lifting your head back up, bring yourself back onto the hands, and then coming back through the 90-90 position. So bend that left leg, and then bring yourself back onto your feet, palms back behind, and then windscreen wiper the legs over to the left, then the right. Notice how the difference in the legs, since you've stretched out one side, not the other yet. And just feel that leg tingling as the blood rushes back in through the leg, side to side, pushing those knees down. One more time to the right. And then we'll bring both legs over towards the left, coming into our 90-90 position on the other side. So your left leg's going straight out in front of you. Find as 90-90 as much as you can. But again, if it's not accessible, bring the knees and feet a bit closer together. Use that left hand for support on the fingertips to lift you up and try and make the pelvis a bit more neutral. Find your position. Keep length through the spine and the neck. Relax those legs, especially that right one. And once you've got your position, we're going to bring the hands, both of the hands over towards the left thigh, over to the side, starting on the fingertips and then coming down to the palms if you can. And then keep length through the spine, looking away from the body. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, look towards that back foot, a little bit of a twist. Relax that right leg. Feel the stretch. And if you can go a little bit more, you can always push that right leg back, the right knee back. Use your breath. And then slowly bring the head back to center. Bring your hands in front of that left shin, walking forward, coming down into the elbows. And relax the head down. Keep both legs relaxed. And wiggle the toes to help release any tension. And then let the forehead fall down. Let it feel heavy. Try to relax the shoulders a bit more. Breathing into that stretch. And just notice different parts of the body relax every time you exhale. Maybe turning the palms to face up. We've got lots of sensory receptors on the bottom of our hands, on the palms of our hands, and our fingertips. So if we're not touching anything with those, takes off that sensation so we can focus on the stretch. Nice deep breath in. See if you can push the belly in towards that thigh and relaxing down. Take one more deep breath here. And then slowly bring yourself back onto those hands, coming into our pigeon. So pushing into that leg, turn that right leg round. Get the hip facing down to the floor, foot's on the floor. And then walk the elbows in front of you, coming all the way down. Relax the head. Adjust your foot so you feel comfortable. Maybe shifting side to side gently. Try and get that right hip to face down to the floor. And if you can go a little bit lower, maybe turning the elbows out to the sides and dropping the head down. And come back to the breath. Every time you breathe out, try to relax a different part of the body. The foot, the thigh. Feel the release of tension from the forehead if your forehead's touching your hands or even the floor. Or just let the forehead feel heavy. Send the breath all the way down to the belly. And then exhale, relax a little bit more. Taking one more breath here. And then slowly lifting the head back up, come back onto the palms, come back through our 90-90s, so bend that right leg out to the side again. Bring yourself back onto the sit bones and bring your feet up. Back into our windscreen wipers, gently shifting side to side. Pushing those knees down. And moving as fast as slow as feels good for you. Stretching into those hips. Take it side to side. And then slowly bringing yourself up to a seated position. Bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to come into our butterfly pose. So shifting the bum back as much as you need to so you can sit upright. And then grabbing the ankles and maybe pulling the feet in close towards the groin area. Gently let the knees bounce out to the side. Keeping length through the spine. And then we're going to shift side to side so you can actually get the knee to touch the floor. Push it side to side. Use that elbow to push the knee down as well. And then find the center. And we're going to hold into the front of the feet this time to interlace the fingers and place them around the front of the feet. And if you need to, you can take the feet a bit further away. We're going to inhale to lengthen and then exhale, bending the elbows out in front of the legs and relax the head down. So it's a lot more passive, this one. We kind of relax the body. You can even relax the hands down. Let the back round. Let the forehead feel heavy. And just hold it here. This is our butterfly pose. And now our head's down. Round in the back. And letting those knees relax out to the sides. Fill up the belly as you breathe in. And exhale, relax down a little bit more. Let the upper body feel heavy. And if you don't feel like you're relaxed, turn the palms to face up and release the hands down. Use your breath. Send the breath into the tightest area. And then exhale, relax. Take 3 more breaths here. Deepening with every exhale. And then slowly bring yourself back up to a seated position, lifting the head up. And just shift yourself so you're towards the end of the mat. So we're going to lay down on our back for our final pose before the Shavasana. So slowly bring yourself down to the elbows. And then all the way down to the back. And then take the hands up overhead, keeping the soles of the feet together if you can. Take a nice big stretch out, pushing the knees down as well, reaching the hands up overhead. And then exhale, relax, bend those arms. Relax the arms down wherever they fall. If that's out to the side, that's fine. Just feel the openness over the whole of the front of the body. The hips are nice and open, the knees are relaxing down. And come back to your breath. Closing down the eyes. It's our sleeping butterfly. But don't get too comfortable, don't fall asleep. Just focus on your breath. Notice the rise and fall of the belly button as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, let the belly button sink back towards the spine. Softening any tension in the face, the arms, the hips. Nice slow and controlled breaths. Let's take one more breath here. And then coming into our Shavasana, let's straighten the legs out to the corners of the mat. Release the hands down by the side. And just shake it out. Shake out the ankles, wiggle the fingers. And then holding it here in our Shavasana, our last position. Relax the shoulders. Relax the hips. And just take a few moments here to be still. Just noticing how the body's feeling now. Feel that blood rushing back in towards the hip area. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. Just counting the breath. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the body melt down into your mat. Take 2 more breaths here in your own count. Releasing any tension from the jaw, the forehead. And then feel free to stay here a little bit longer if you want an extended Shavasana. Otherwise, slowly bending the knees in towards the body, hugging the knees in, and then gently rock yourself back up to a seated position, coming back into a cross-leg position, bringing the palms back together at the chest, closing those eyes. And take one more breath together, relaxing the elbows down. And again, thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.